Hi, I'm Samantha McDouglas from thebridgeteachers.com. Come look over my shoulder at a play problem. Take a moment, familiarize yourself with the auction. Whenever you are about to play or defend a hand, you should have a handle on the auction and what each bid meant, and this is the beginning of how we build our picture. I'm just going to tell you right now that this auction is not really important to the hand, and so I don't want you to worry about it too much. If you do want to spend more time on it, feel free to pause the video. We're going to go ahead and go forth. West led the 4 of hearts. This is a real-life hand. This came up, it was bid and played, and I have just recorded the events and I'm presenting them to you now. So if you don't agree with the auction or the plays that the defense are making, that's okay. That's going to happen to you when you play bridge. Your opponents are going to do silly things sometimes. So the first thing we do when a hand comes down and we're about to play it is we assess the hand. In a trump contract, we assess the hand by counting losers. So let's take a moment and do that. I would count 5 losers. We should be counting the long trump hand, the hand with the longer trump, and that's going to be our hand in this case. When we look at the spade suit, we are missing the ace and the 10. So I would count that as 1.5 losers. 1 loser for sure, the ace, and then we do need to keep an eye on the 10. Looking at the heart suit, we have 1 loser because we have 1 heart. In clubs, we have 3 clubs. We have the ace and the king, but the 3rd club is in danger of losing, so we're going to go ahead and count it as a loser. We're missing the ace of diamonds, and then it's possible that we could have a 2nd loser in diamonds with the 10-9 and the bad split. And we're going to talk about that more in just a little bit, but essentially, we have a half loser in both the spades and the diamonds because if the suit splits badly, the 10 could be a problem. And so I'm going to combine those 2 half losers into 1 and go ahead and count 5 losers. If you counted 4, that's great. That answer is correct as well. We use counting losers to point out things that we need to be thinking about in the hand and problems we might need to potentially solve. So I like to be thinking about the 10 of spades and the 10 of diamonds ahead of time, and that's why I would count those as losers. If you didn't, that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and play to this trick. Now, I would normally tell you not to play until you have a complete plan, but I want to get to this moment right here because this is the focus of this video. This is a ruff and a sluff. So what 2 elements are necessary for a ruff and a sluff? The declarer needs to be able to trump in both hands. So in order to be able to trump, we have to A, be out of the suit, and B, have trump. So if in both hands, both my hand and dummy, I do not have the suit that has been led, and I have trump, the opponents have just given me a ruff and a sluff. Generally speaking, when the defense gives the declarer a ruff and a sluff, it is a bad thing. Why is that? It's the sluff, the discard, that is the damaging part to the defense and our benefit when a ruff and a sluff happens. And usually this is because we're getting the opportunity to make a discard that we wouldn't otherwise have been able to do. And you can see on this hand, we obviously couldn't discard on the heart suit because they were even and we're now out. And we can't discard on the diamonds for the same reason because they are even. So every time we play a diamond, we have to follow suit with a diamond, so we can't discard. In order to discard, we need to be uneven, or we need the opponents to give us a ruff and a sluff. And what I want you to focus on in this video is, what are we going to sluff? Where are we going to trump? That's our ruff. And where are we going to sluff? And I've already a little bit given you a big hint, which is it's the sluff that's important. The ruff isn't nearly as important as the card I choose to discard. When I have the ability to throw something away, I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of that and I'm throwing away a loser. So which hand would you trump in? I would trump in dummy. My reason for this is very simple. I'm setting up the south hand. So when I go to get rid of losers, I want to make sure that I'm getting rid of losers from the hand that I'm setting up, which is south. So if I trump in the north hand, that allows me to pick my discard from the south hand. If I discard from north, this is not really going to give me an opportunity to get rid of a loser because I'm not setting up that hand, so losers that are in that hand really aren't relevant to me. Now the next question is, now that we know we're going to be trumping in north, what card are we going to throw from south? There are a lot of reasons to throw a club. The first thing is it 100% gets rid of a loser. I have a loser in clubs. I have 3 clubs, 2 of which are covered by the ace and the king, and the third one of which is a loser. Now I can take a finesse, but when we look at our order of priority, whether it's discarding, trumping, or finessing, finessing is always our last choice. And the reason for this is that finessing has a 50% chance to lose. If we take the club finesse and East has the queen, we're going to lose the trick. It's only going to work half the time when West has the queen. So discarding is going to be a much better option than finessing because discarding works 100% of the time. I'm going to get rid of this loser now for sure. There's nothing that's going to stop me. I know that West isn't going to do anything other than play a heart because they bid hearts. So when I look at my club loser and my options are, well, I could finesse at a later date or I could discard it right now. Discarding it right now is a much better choice. My other reason for not wanting to discard a diamond is I probably only have 1 diamond loser. I'm probably only in danger of losing the ace of diamonds. It is possible that if the diamonds are 4 and 1, that I may have a second diamond loser. But I have a couple of options in that case. It might be that I actually have a finesse position in diamonds that will allow me to avoid losing a second trick in diamonds. And to capitalize on that, I'm going to need all of my diamonds. But absolute worst case scenario, I could always choose to take the club finesse later, even if I discard a club right now. So for all of these reasons, discarding the club is the correct answer. The primary reason that I want you to discard a club is because we have a club loser and playing the 2 gets rid of that loser. Now we don't have a club loser. We trump this trick and our club loser is gone. The other reasons, maybe needing to finesse in diamonds and still having the ability to take a club finesse later on, those are a little bit more advanced, and if they don't make sense to you, I don't want you to worry about them. The main focus of this is I'm hoping that I don't have a secondary diamond loser because I'm hoping the diamonds are splitting 3 and 2. In clubs, I for sure have this club loser, and I have 2 options. I can discard or I can finesse, and of those 2, discarding is the better option. The moral of the story here is when you get a ruff and a sluff, it is the sluff that I want you to be thinking about. What pitch is going to help you get rid of a loser? And you want to be very specific about that. I am getting rid of this loser by playing this card. Thank you.